your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show. Today is Tuesday, March the 17th, 2026. I am your host, AMPLIA. It's good to be back here with you all again, and joining me in studio is Miss Nicole Williams Wilson. Cool. And you know, I don't want to say a fresh face, but you've been here for a couple of weeks now, you know. How have you been settling in?
It's a new experience and one that I am really and truly enjoying. Yes. So Tobago Updates, thumbs up to you.
Yes, you know, viewers, I haven't been around that much lately for the past couple of weeks, since the International Women's Day earlier this month. You know, in and out a bit, you know. But the producer in the back there laughing. I don't know why he's laughing. We have a lot of things to discuss with you, very interesting conversations. More on the lighter side of things, I would say, this time around. But before we get into any of those conversations, we head on over to our news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, AMPLIA. News in 90 seconds. The U.S. military-grade radar at Front Point has been dismantled and removed. The system, which Prime Minister Kamala Persad previously stated cost US $3 million daily to operate, is reportedly being prepared for transport off the island via U.S. military aircraft. Installed last November to track narco trafficking from Venezuela, its sudden removal follows months of political tension over the cost of the presence of U.S. Marines on Tobago soil. Tobago is mourning the passing of its last surviving World War II veteran, Iman Legal. At the age of 99, the Laketo resident famously joined the military in 1942, serving in Guyana until the war's end, a fixture at every Remembrance Day parade. Mr. Legal was the final living link to a generation of Tobagonians who served on the global stage. Our condolences go out to his family and the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Service League. Finally, planning to travel to Tobago for Easter? Help is on the way. Secretary Keegan Denoon announced on Sunday that the central government has committed to additional flights, including a possible jet service to meet demands. On the sea bridge, efforts are underway to ensure both TT Spirit and Buko Reef are fully operational, with Galleon Passage standing by. The THA is promising improved communication to ensure a smoother experience for the holiday influx. That is the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you very much, Nicole, for that news in 90 seconds. And we see being most prominent in the news there the
Yes.
announcement that the radar has been removed from Tobago. I know I mentioned it to someone yesterday and they were so relieved.
Yes.
You know, and I think that a lot of persons in Tobago would be very relieved to hear that the radar has been removed and the soldiers are getting prepared to leave the island.
Yes. I think it brought a bit of tension, yeah, and persons being a little bit on the, you know, afraid side because they don't know what to expect.
Uneasy about
yes,
it.
Very uneasy. Yeah.
Yes. Also, the unfortunate passing of Mr. Legal.
Yeah.
I mean,
condolences again to his family.
Yes, condolences to his family once again. And we like to celebrate these persons who would have fought in World War II, because I think World War II was the last war of, you know, most people say you fight over money or oil, and I think World War II was the last war of where they fought for moral cause.
Moral cause, correct.
And because of that, persons tend to elevate those persons who have sacrificed themselves, sacrificed their lives, and fought in those wars. And it's very sad that you know, we lost our last legacy living legacy, I should say, of the war.
Yeah, but he really and truly fought a good fight.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. All right, viewers, it's time to celebrate with those who are celebrating with us. It's that time of our program. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. Now, Tobago updates, whatever you're celebrating, we want to celebrate with you. And we start the celebrations off by saying happy birthday to Mr. Avion Adams. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Adams. God's richest blessings. We pray that God keeps you and blesses you on this day. Today is your special day. And we pray that you take some time off to reflect on all the blessings that God has bestowed upon you and you keep Him in the forefront of everything you plan moving forward. We move swiftly along and we say happy birthday to Mr. Derek Frank as well. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Frank. Today is a special day. We know the family and friends are going to be treating you very, very, very well. And we pray that you stay safe today. You go out and you celebrate, you stay safe, and that you keep God in all things that you do. And finally, we say happy birthday to Mr. Chassel Carter. So it seems like it's all meant today.
Yes.
It's all meant today. You know?
Yes.
Maybe it's an early Fathers Day or early Happy International Men's Day. I'm not too sure. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Carter. God's richest blessings to you. Today is your special day. Yes, we know that special someone is going to be treating you very nice today.
Yes, we declare that.
Yes, indeed. You're going to be getting cake and ice cream and the best of gifts, And we pray that you really enjoy today, you stay safe, and that the next upcoming year will be only filled with success after success.
Amen. Amen.
Viewers, whatever you're celebrating, we want to celebrate with you, whether it's a birthday, a graduation, an anniversary. Whatever you're celebrating, send the information to Tobago Updates, and Tobago, Trinidad, the Caribbean, and the wider world will celebrate with you. All right, so Nicole,
yes.
What do we have on the rundown?
In the rundown this morning, we have some interesting conversation. One with Mr. Luke Trim, President of the Tobago Students Association, and he's going to be talking about the THA monthly food card for university students, followed by Curtin Manswell, no stranger to the Tobago space, owner of Knockout Boxing Gym, and he's going to be speaking about Scarborough Amateur Boxing Card. And finally, we have Ride and Roti, yes. An event that we should look forward to. And we have Denelly Grant, which is the secretary, and Marcus Pilgrim, PRO, coming in to have that discussion with us.
All
yes.
Right. Any talk about roti and
yes.
Any talk about roti and
I think it's an interesting concept. So
yes.
When they come, we will definitely
yes. To have.
Yes.
All right, viewers, we want to thank you for logging on to our Facebook Live or YouTube channel, 102 on AMPLIA, 121 or 130 on Flow, and 33 on Digital. Whether you're in Tobago, Trinidad, the Caribbean, or the wider world, we want to thank you for making Tobago Updates Tobago's #1 television station. And we ask you to do us a favor. Share the live,
share the live, share the live.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Definitely.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So, even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you their Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilions cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Combi Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
I need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
Trinidad, Tobago and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. And we get into our first interview, and we have on the line with us Mr. Luke Trim, who is the president of the Tobago Students Association. And we're going to talk about that Tobago Students Association because when I was at the University of the West Indies, it used to be the Trinidad and Tobago Students Association. So, and we're going to have a little conversation about that as well as what he's here to talk about, which is the THA monthly food card for university students. Good morning and welcome, Mr. Luke. Mr. Trim.
Good morning, everyone. This is a very interesting way for anyone to start their morning, but I'm excited to be on the line this morning.
So, Mr. Trim, you were talking about the THA monthly food card for university students. Just tell us a little bit about how this initiative, this program actually came to be.
So this program actually ties into your first question of how the Tobago Students Association came about. So when we started university in the year 2023, there was a cultural display at the UE St. Augustine. And at that time, it was myself and Miss Janie Campbell, who serves as the Tobago Affairs Officer. We were just making a few laps around, seeing every island with the tent, and then we noticed that, Tobago's presence was absent. So we decided to create the Tobago Students Association to ensure that as university students, we had that sense of community. We had an organization that understood what we face and the realities that we face as Tobago students because, we have to spend a lot of money when it comes to either traveling between the islands, also the cost that we have to face when it comes to securing food items. It's just that all realities are a bit more unique. And so we established the Tobago Students Association sometime in 2024. It wasn't a simple journey. That was operating on the backdrop of tensions between the island where Tobago's autonomy was concerned. So at that time, it was, THA versus central government. And, most people who are not alive to what autonomy is, they will obviously think it's all about separation and wanting to be your own. So then now, when we are here trying to advocate for our own established students association, it was described as a violation to the national unity of Trinidad and Tobago. The adjectives, separation and a threat, they were used. And so we had to come together to push back against those systems, and we did, and we successfully established the Tobago Students Association, which has grown into what it is for today. To speak specifically to the grocery card and inter-island travel assistance initiatives, when I was appointed CARICOM Youth Ambassador by the THA in 2023, I had the privilege of having a conversation with the Chief Secretary, the Honorable Fali Chavez Augustine, and our conversations touched on concerns, the lived realities that we face as Tobago students, trying to pursue that tertiary level education. And the chief, he was very understanding because, fun fact, back in his days, he was also a CARICOM Youth Ambassador. So he understood and appreciated the value of youth advocacy and youth voices. And I would have explained to him that, I want to establish a Students Association 1 and 2. And when that association is established, I want us to set up systems where, university students can really be supported, because it's not just about the students, it's about their parents or sometimes their guardians who just have to fork out all kind of money when they end of the month come, just to make sure that they're not starving. Sometimes as students, because their parents so busy, they send down the money after 12 on a Friday evening, so you're not getting that till Monday. So sometimes you just have to bang your belly over the weekend. And I think what we also identified in Tobago, and I don't know if it's the same island-wide or even in the region, is that we have somewhat normalized suffering in university. I think the notion is that as long as you're going to university, you have to suffer, you have to starve, you have to eat the cricks and the water. But I think as a new generation, we decided to reject that. We decided that, the resources are there, the support are there, we just need to tap into it. Because, again, for anybody who has studied in Trinidad as a Tobagonian, you already know there are some interesting narratives and stigmas around who we are as Tobagonians, and it's important that we don't feed into that narrative and we can show people that this is an island that can support its own. And that's basically the genesis of the Tobago Students Association and the grocery cards, the anticipated grocery cards.
Mr. Trim, thank you so much. And I really want to commend you here for your leadership. I know, as you mentioned, university life could be a bit on the difficult side at times, yeah? Question, how can students access the monthly food card?
So Secretary Denoon, Mr. Keegan Denoon, would have explained in the meeting sometime on Sunday, that THA press briefing, that a committee is currently in the setting up stage, and we understand and appreciate that after that committee is established, they will be receiving applications to be reviewed, so that by the new semester in September, we can expect students to start accessing those resources. At this time, when I chatted with the executive of the association, we are just hoping that at minimum, at least one executive member, at least two executive members from the Tobago Students Association can be appointed to that committee, because at the end of the day, you cannot be making policy and resources for university students without university students. So we hope that we can be included in those integral and important decision-making processes, just to bring to bear a cross-fertilization of the ideas and perspectives, and to ensure that when the initiative rolls out, it's going to be one that responds directly to the needs of Tobago students.
So, Mr. Trim, I know that the Tobago Students Association would have been born out of the TTSA, which is an organization within the University of the West Indies. So just tell us, is this initiative for students beyond the University of the West Indies?
Well, at this moment, the Tobago Students Association is currently based at UWI St. Augustine. There are times that we still, assist students who are not per se at UWI, not to let the cat out of the bag too much, but, in the coming months, we can expect the association growing out of just serving students at the University of the West Indies and serving all the university students who are pursuing tertiary level education. In terms of coming out of the TTSA, so interestingly, when we started UWI, there wasn't a TTSA, and I think that is just something that is seen regionally in Barbados. Even if there's a Barbados Students Association, it's very dormant. Same in Jamaica, it may be there, but it's very dormant because at the end of the day, it's very weird to have a student association that is geographically located on the island, because it's like your needs doesn't really reflect our needs. But so that's why we decided to make the Tobago Students Association that really responds to the needs and concerns that we face as students. And what we built as the Tobago Students Association in Trinidad is essentially a microcosm of Tobago's own journey towards autonomy. And that is why it has so much symbolic value to us as the students, because everything that we went through was basically what the island was going through at that time when it was trying to, advocate for greater autonomy. So at this moment, I really want to thank the executive of the Tobago Students Association for really standing down with me, because it was real Belmana. It was real Belmana vibes on Trinidad. So, at a point in time, I had to put the diplomacy aside and show them, why I'm the perfect mix of my mother and my grandparents. So I really want to thank the executive, because it's not easy to really put yourself in the fire and really stand up for what you believe in. Also, we have to thank Mr. Dwayne Nurse Jr. He's no stranger here to Tobago Updates. He sort of acted as a strategic advisor to the association on areas of autonomy, and also how we can engage with public bodies such as the Tobago House of Assembly. Of course, we have to thank the Chief Secretary. He was very understanding, and that's something rare. As someone who has been serving in leadership, it's very rare to meet a politician that actually doesn't want to mamagai you. Someone who will say, listen, I want to support, I want to help you, and they actually pull through and prove to us that they are a man of their word. And also, we want to thank Secretary Keegan for really advancing the interests of the Tobago students. I think the silver lining of this whole situation is that it shows us what Tobago's autonomy looks like and what it can look like. The mere fact that as young Tobagonians pursuing tertiary level education, we can now be empowered by our island government. I think this is just something that's beautiful, and I look forward to see how this rolls out in the months to come.
Mr. Shrim, as you extend thank you, I think all of the Tobago students would want to express a heartfelt thank you to you as well. Question, what other initiative does the Tobago Students Association currently have as it relates to supporting or further supporting students?
Okay, so in the past 2 years, what we did as a student association is that we started, improving the access university students face when it comes down to internship programs. Because if you're a parent or if you're a university student yourself, you will understand and appreciate that when that second semester ends and everybody returns back to the island, it's always somewhat a rat race to get a job, to get an internship. So what we do now is that we act as a bridge between these internship programs to recommend names of students who really need the internship, whether it's just for that financial support, but most importantly to build their work acumen. Also, what we have done sometime around summer last year is that we would have led an advocacy campaign for greater access to bursary funding. So what we saw over summer 2024-2025 is that many Tobago students were able to have access to loan-free bursaries ranging from 30,000 TTD to even 50,000 TTD to really have that financial security for the upcoming semester. So this problem where students, they were having issues with paying for tuition and paying for living accommodations, we were able to alleviate that. Added, we would have done these initiatives where we entered high schools to just chat with the sixth form students to give them the real understanding of what life in university is all about. And we are pleased to announce that since the establishment of the Tobago Students Association, we have seen an increase in the number of Tobago students who are choosing to study right here in Trinidad. So in 2023, when it was just about 20 of us and we were separated and invisible, we now have over 205 students here and counting. Our data would have explained to us that when it comes down to all university students, there are about a shy of 430 students who are pursuing tertiary level education. So we look forward to being able to serve them as best as we can. Added to that, as Tobago students who are renting off campus, sometimes these students may face unfair interactions with their rent and accommodation managers. You know, sometimes they have to be paying exorbitant fees for service that don't come commensurate with what they are living through. And what I would have done as president is I personally would have prosecuted their interest to really ensure that no one is taking advantage of them in these apartments, etc. So these are some of the things that the association has been doing. Most importantly, displaying our culture and identity. We have been doing these lovely setup booths to display our culture with the help of the Division of Tourism. Our last cultural setup was about 2 weeks ago, and we just want to thank the new Secretary for Tourism, Miss Zorisha Hackett. She was very instrumental in ensuring that we had the items to really show people this is what Tobago looks like. You are free to always catch a plane or catch a boat and experience it yourself.
All right, Mr. Trim. In terms of your relation with the rest of the guild and the in terms of the relationship with the rest of the guild and the other associations, because I believe that's where you would have gotten the pushback mostly from within the guild of students.
Correct.
How has that relationship developed since the establishment of the association?
We're cordial. I would like to say that we're cordial. I don't think, I mean, it just goes back to historical context. You know, sometimes as Tobagonians, we will notice that we oftentimes live in the shadow of our sister island, Trinidad. And most, if not all the times, anytime we try to say, hey, Tobago is here, we're trying to get recognized. The argument is always, hey, relax yourself, it's Trinidad and Tobago is one country, but I need to keep it down and pat down. But the then Students Guild at that time, I mean, at that time it was Johnny Campbell and Miss Shini Sanis-Close. We would have had a meeting with them after they described us the way they describe us, and we basically bust the truth, basically to see, and but after that, we were able to establish the association. I mean, we know at the end of the day, not everybody would be pro-Tobago or fans of our existence, but, you know, who vex low? We are here, and you just have to live with it.
All right. Fighting words, Mr. Trim, fighting words, and we're very proud that you were able to establish this Tobago Students Association and stand up for the rights of Tobagonians at the University of the West Indies over there in St. Augustine. We want to thank you very much for coming on this morning and speaking to us about this new initiative and giving us some background into the establishment of the Tobago Students Association. And we wish you and the association all the success in the years to come.
Thank you very much.
Have a blessed day, sir.
All right, viewers, we have to go for a short break, and when we return, we continue our conversations. So we ask you to do us that favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Yes.
Community Council brings to you their Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Combi Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
I need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships. It's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Trinidad, Tobago, and abroad. Your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday, 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs, and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear. An older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. For a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Promotion presents Laugh and Live this Good Friday, 7 p.m. It's non-stop laughter at Bertrude Legacy Park, Lowlands. Special guest from Jamaica, Mr. Funny himself, Owen Blacker Ellis. From Trinidad, Rising Comics, Alan the Entertainer, and Son Son. And from Tobago, amateur comic, Bishop Terence Baines. Listen, this is a laughing matter. Get your tickets now at Den's Electronics, 2nd floor, Port Mall, Scarborough. And Island e-tickets or call 685-1988. At the door, you will pay more.
Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way. Some bunny's getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through. Because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together. Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, viewers. As we continue the conversation, Tobago, as we know, it is a sporting community which continues to grow, and boxing is one of the disciplines that is indeed making headways in the Tobago space. Joining us this morning on set is none other than Mr. Kurtson Manswell, no stranger to the boxing arena. Good morning to you, sir.
President, good morning, Miley. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. And you're here because you need to talk about a very important event that is coming up. But before you do such, tell us a little bit about Knockout Gym, boxing gym.
Okay. Listen, good morning, Tobago. Knockout Boxing Gym, you know, a gym that I started back there in 2015, you know, and when I came back to Tobago, that is after my long career in professional boxing and amateur boxing, you know, I went around Tobago, you know, one of the first world-renowned success we had in sports in Trinidad and Tobago came from a Tobagonian.
Yes.
Claude Noel.
Yes.
And he was a professional boxer. And then I came back in 2000, you understand, in the same sport, but from on the amateur level. Most decorated ever amateur boxer in the English-speaking Caribbean to date, to myself, me, Kurtson Manswell. Right, so you know we have the two forms of boxing, which is professional and amateur, coming from one place, yes. Tobago. Right, so I said, you know, we started many programs in Trinidad. Trinidad was very receptive in the schools. I work at YTC, I work at St. Michael's, I work at all those trouble school in the Lavantil area, and we started this program where, you know, where we take boxing. You know, you say when you're dealing with a problem. You know, so in this instance, we're talking about violence. People look at boxing as a violent sport, right? So we say, here, well, let's deal with violence with a more scientific approach, which is boxing. Right. And we went into the school and it was well receptive and it was well delivered. I did these troubled areas myself, Silot, Moval Africa, Moval Lavantil, and it was well receptive. You know, I see parents coming into the school and say, I hear it. I give you all the authority to discipline my child. And, you know, the discipline started there, you know, having them to come on time.
Yes.
Right? And not missing the next class.
Yes.
You know, I wouldn't let them know, but that was the science. And, you know, it was well receptive and we never had not even one that was late before and after. So, you know, we're not looking at boxing as the actual sport. We're looking at the discipline behind the sport. It would have curbed life. Mike Tyson come right down, what's his name? Marvin Hagler. He came off of a murder charge and became a world champion, and it changed his life for good. Right? And we know in Tobago, I deal with somebody, you know, those big fights that we had up in Signal Hill. Some of those kids came to my class, right? And we wouldn't have had that again. Well, it now started back because, you know, we're having a problem with education, getting into the school, because they only look at boxing as violent sport. Right? And, you know, where Roxville is asking for the program, so I can't go into the school just like that without any permission from education. You know, so, and it down in the back right there, you know, I have kids somewhere around from 9 years old up to 28 that is taking up this sport, and we are running with it. We went down to Trinidad in various meets before, and we created a stir. Nobody would have wanted to fight Tobago in the first round. Right? So it's really making headway, so we are going forward with it in a big way.
So tell us a little bit about this event that you have coming up this Saturday. In terms of how many fights persons can see, how many events on the card.
Okay, well, on this Saturday we are having 10 fights, 9 male, 1 female, right? And we're having fighters from at the age of 9 years old, right up to my oldest fighter will be 28, right? And the National Championship, Boxing Championship, Amateur Boxing Championship, it was scheduled for in Trinidad for 2026 in January, and it was somehow postponed. But I would have had a program. I did a year's program, which I wrote out, which I submitted to the THA and to all other personnel around. And we started that program. And I am seeing, and the people around Cyber are seeing, huge results. You know, the children, their lives are transforming. You understand? Not all of them will have to be world champions. You understand? But the aspect of their lives being transformed, where they can do something, you know, positive and productive with themselves. So, so this fight, well, the championship was put off from January. It's now on in April. Right, we had our first card here in Tobago in December. So December, that would have been, the preparation stage going into the national championship. Here we are again. That it's turned out about the same way. That this card is every 3 months we would have the boxing card in Tobago. Right. So here we are, on our program, which the national championship fit in right after starting from the 9th of April to the 12th. So here we are again. At another, let's say, we'll use it Tobago as a preparation stage going into the national championship. It's a very exciting fight. The children that they are really looking forward to it. As I said, the age is 9 to 28. And Tobago, we have much more Claude Noel and Kurt Manuel in Tobago. I've been in areas right throughout Tobago, and from the time we show some gloves, some boxing gloves, is the most students, like how Answers gone and Sugar, is the most we will see this come around. You understand? In space side there, we started in the school, going and just with children, the inside knowledge, because when you do physical education as a subject, you must choose a sport.
Right.
And many of them would have chosen boxing, but it would have been at the disadvantage. This is where I want education to come in, because if we are to facilitate our children with the knowledge, and they're choosing boxing as a sport, and we have no way where we teach them, they are at a disadvantage. And boxing is on the school's curriculum.
Yeah. That's for CXC.
Yes. You understand? So I think all schools, secondary schools, should be interested in this program, where the children will get the knowledge. You understand? So in case they choose this subject, they will not be at a disadvantage. You understand? Even if we go into school, just to give them the theoretical part, so that they can be, at a place where they can be most equipped for the exam.
Saturday, 21st of March. What can spectators expect coming out of this Scarborough amateur boxing card?
We are looking to put Scarborough back on the map. Everything is out of Scarborough, but Scarborough is very big. I started boxing in Scarborough. Right. So up there with the Winchester brothers. Yes, Sherwin and they. Yes, I know Sherwin as a looking at boxing, I knew he was a calypso, right? And his father would have been the one that taught me boxing, along with Mr. Winchester, his father, and I started at Garfield Koshi at that time, SS Jimmy Yellen, all these guys. So we want to bring back boxing in Scarborough, right? And on the 21st, which is Saturday coming, we have 10 exciting bouts. 10 very, very exciting bouts. And this, as I say, we are leading into the national championship next month. So it's just like a preparatory stage for the youths going, because these same youths will go into the national championships in Trinidad from the 9th of April. And I am very confident that from this, we will have a lot of youths coming out, supporting, right? And we'll have boxing rising back at the top from Tobago. Yes. You understand? So it's free. It's right there it's right back there, Port Mall car park at the back. It's free, it's open to everyone. Come sit and enjoy, we have little vending and thing. And, I'm asking, corporate Tobago, because we are still awaiting, little help from various entities. We are still waiting, for them to come forward. You understand? And be a part of this great thing, because I'm saying, come out and see for yourself that there's more Claude Noel, there's more Mike Tyson, you understand? There's more Leila Ali, because we are female too, and she's very good. She's been training hard. And the children are really looking forward to put on a great show for Tobago. Yes. You understand? Don't just look at the violence. We're looking at the science. And this, as our motto in the camp is, we teach the science, not the violence.
So, I want to get into what the training regimen would have been like to prepare these youngsters for boxing. What was it like training them and conditioning them ready to fight?
Okay, well, it wasn't that simple, children, but what we had and what I used, what I feed on was the enthusiasm. You understand? They were so enthusiastic to just get into it, coach. Just imagine they will ask me, coach, we're going on how far? right? And when they come back, I'll put them in. We'll be out there on the hard court, right in the back there. You know, how we have tire, we have bags, you know, and we have gloves. And I will make sure, coach, man, we didn't know this was so hard. I say, yes, boxing is one of the fittest sports in the whole wide world, where you use everything, your eye, your brain, hand and eye coordination, hand and foot, everything must sync together. And this is where the fitness comes in. So, you know, I will have them, we'll do run, we'll have jump rope, you know, we'll have fitness drills, you understand, Olympic style fitness drills, you understand, I'll put them through all, and they would have passed the test. I'm saying that they are ready. They are ready. What I say, again, I use the enthusiasm. You understand? And that is what fuel it. Not like, yes, they were new to it, but because of their enthusiasm, it was well receptive and well executed.
All right, all right. So in terms of the appearance, I'm really interested in knowing about the appearance. When you talk about boxing appearance, you know, sometimes boxing could have serious injuries in it and that kind of thing. And people getting lashed in the head, they're getting knocked out. You know, what do parents tell you when you approach them to get their children started in boxing?
Just as you said, me no want my child get no lash in head. just as you said, me no want my child end up like Muhammad Ali.
Oh gosh.
But I'm saying Muhammad Ali is 1 in a million that end up with Parkinson, right? We have Jackie Joyner Kersey. Right, we had Michael J. Fox. They never threw a punch in their life. You understand? We had the Pope who used to fall asleep on the altar. They never threw a punch in their life. Boxing doesn't. What the training about boxing and why training is important, right? When you train your body to receive, it sends the message, neurological message to the brain, so you'll be able to receive. When you get knocked out, everybody think knockout is that bad. No, knockout is not that bad. Knockout is actually the best thing to happen to you. Other than getting beat up from 1 to 12 or 1 to 3. What you know, a knockout is just I haven't seen the punch come in and here it knocks off oxygen from going to the brain that send the body in a immediate seizure, you know, just like that. So you just wake up back and not remember the last thing that happened and just up back and ready to go. So that's a knockout is less like the body protecting itself.
Okay.
You understand? So it's not all that bad. But when you train the body to receive, this is why it's so important, is training and paying attention. When the body, you'll be able to hand, as I say, eye and hand, foot coordination. As long as the body sees it's coming, trust me, with me knockout. It is always the punch that you see. Just be the one that is knock you out.
Mr. Manswell, thank you so much for the tremendous work that you're doing, especially with our young athlete, and for continuing to develop the sport of boxing here on the island of Tobago. We really and truly look forward to more. Yes. And we extend a, heartfelt congratulations to you as it relates to picking up the mantle to make sure that boxing continues, especially on the island of Tobago and by extension Trinidad. So viewers, 21st of March 2026, be there at Port Mall. We have our Scarborough Amateur Boxing card. Thank you so much again, Mr. Manswell, for joining us.
You're welcome, Riley.
All right, viewers, we have to go on a short break and we'll continue our conversations. Up next, we're going to have Denily Grant, who's the secretary, as well as Marcus Pilgrim, who's the PRO. And they're going to be talking about Ride and Roti. I like the name of that, Nicole. Ride and Roti.
Interesting conversation.
It's very, very interesting.
Oh my God.
So do us a favor. We want you to share the live,
share the live, share the live.
We'll be right back after these messages.
is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Tobago, it's Carnival. Dubai, the event space formerly known as Shade, for the court Tobago, says, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612 or email iwamg@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is Carnival.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you the Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
Need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing.
Trinidad, Tobago and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
Baby, when you whine on me.
Somebody get the phone, go to the telephone.
I get wet. I get wet. I'm looking all through the party. I hope I find you there.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back, and we continue the conversation. And on set with me, we have two gentlemen, Mr. Denley Grant and Marcus Pilgrim, PRO and the Secretary of the New Site and Destination Cycle Squad. And they're here to talk about a very interesting event that is coming up, Ride and Roti. But before we get into Ride and Roti, yes, tell us the idea behind this association. New Site, or abbreviated NSD Cycling Squad.
So New Sites and Destination Cycle Squad was birthed in 2024 from a desire to the love of cycling, and so we started off having social rides, fun ride, leisure ride, and then in 2025 we got registered with the TTCF and we started competing on a national level. In 2025 we also went to Tory Bim and competed, and also, we would have captured the podium in Tory Bim. And so it's all about the love of cycling, NSD. That is why New Sites and Destination Cycle Squad.
Thank you so much, Mr. Grant. Now, I asked a question before, Ride and Roti. And my question was, are we riding while eating the roti, riding before, riding after the roti? Tell us about Ride and Roti.
Well, yes, you'll be riding first, then eating the roti. As you would appreciate, that Friday coming is Eid, so with that, you always do your roti. So you'll be riding first, you'll be moving from our usual starting point base, which is in the Esplanade. We'll be moving from there and heading right there. You see the flyer, and we'll be heading through some nice parts of Tobago on the west, and then ending at Mount Irving, and that's where the roti will happen. It's a social and fun ride, so we're encouraging everybody. If you have a bike, come out. We got the roti waiting for you.
And that was my next question to you. Yes, so you would have answered it. So viewers, if you have a bicycle, yes.
Yeah.
If you are not an amateur, if you are professional, this Ride and Roti event is definitely for you. Tell us what can persons expect?
Well, for the ride, we're supposed to have our support vehicles around, so when you come, it's going to be all one group moving together. We have our various ride captains that will ride along to help ensure safety and that kind of stuff. Because we have, apart from adults, we also encourage the children out, because we also have our youth. We have our kids from the age of 7, all the way through to teen years. So we try to encourage a holistic, down to mature people, above 70 and stuff,
NST, what are your plans on making this event one that Tobagonians can look forward? In other words, putting it on the Tobago calendar.
Well, so far we have 2 yearly events. One is the Ride Around Tobago. That's on a Boxing Day. That's a big challenge annually. Every Boxing Day, we do that Ride Around Tobago. And also we have our NSD Cove Criterium. This year we want to evolve a little, and we want to make it the Tobago Omnium, which is just multiple cycling races or activity that would be taking place. So we would have a time trial as well as a circuit. So, and that is, the tentative date for that is in September. But added to that, we have monthly challenges that we have on a monthly basis. The last Tuesday in every month we have challenge among club members and also cyclists on the island. And yes, we catered also for leisure riders, amateurs as well. So you can come along to the Ride and Roti. It's not for professionals only. You can get your bicycle, make sure and get your helmet. That is very much important.
Safety
the helmet
first.
Safety first, and Ride and Roti.
Question, how can persons register or get more information? Because obviously you have to cater for this Ride and Roti. So is there a registration process that has to take place?
Well, what we would appreciate is just for people to contact us. You see the flyer, you contact us and give us your information. It's not a official registration of sorts, but a late registration. That way we will definitely have an idea and be able to cater for everyone coming. If the whole of Tobago comes, then that's great, you know. Because at the end of the day, that's what we promote is a community of cycling and using cycling and for wellness and that kind of stuff, you know.
Excellent. So what kind of response have you been receiving thus far?
Well, it's overwhelming. Yeah. A lot of people been calling, some people take it for a race, but it's not a race. So you don't need to be intimidated. It's not a race, it's a leisure ride. And so it's catered for everybody from the smallest to the oldest. We cater for everybody. So come on down to the Esplanade on Friday. We start 7 a.m. sharp and we go into Mount Irving via Cano Bay. As we normally say, nice and easy.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
Mr. Grant, because of the fact that the camera is on you, or even Mr. Pilgrim, the floor is open to you to invite persons now. So speak to our audience as it relates to, you know, inviting them to this ride and route. Yeah? The date, the time, and just advertise.
You want me to take it? All right. So is this Friday coming, which is
a holiday.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is the 20th of March. So there's no excuse to say, hey, I might go to work. It starts 7 a.m. The sun isn't too hot that time, but sun is good for us. So we start at 7 at the Esplanade. So if you can probably get there, you know, half hour before 6:30, that way, you know, some of our guys will look at your bikes to make sure everything is good. If you may need a little lube on your chain, we will get some lube on your chain, make any little safety stuff. Remember, ensure you have your helmets. We will walk with a 1 or 2 extra, but just in case anyone may not have, so that, you know, they could be included. You come out and it's about good camaraderie, good spirit, good chatting, well understanding that we're on an open road and we're staying safe. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Grant and Mr. Pilgrim, for joining us this morning. And viewers, Ride and Route, an event that you should indeed take part in, because I'm thinking that you would have some excellent good roti, good tasting roti. Yes, and added to that, you have the opportunity to ride and, you know, have fun in the process. So viewers, thank you so much, and thank you again for joining us. And all the best in this event, and we look forward to greater events to come.
And I would like to add that we are always looking for new members. So, you know, you can always see us in Army. If you around Cano Bay and you see cyclists, that's generally us. So you can always stop one of us and get the necessary information.
Thank you so much again, sir. So viewers, you heard it from them. And at this time, I want you to continue to stay with Tobago Updates. Up next, we have a GMT with Chanel Felix. So continue to lock on and continue to share the live, share the live, share the live. Have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Today we are proud to officially open the Roxville Policy Club Computers Room, a space that represents growth, opportunity, and our commitment to empowering our community through education and technology.
Today's initiative that is once again being supported by the Digicel Foundation is indeed a record-breaking success Not everybody can be able to buy a computer. And even though they buy a computer, some of them don't have internet. And there will be a space, a safe space, where they can come and do their homework and to be able to do their SBAs and to be able to ensure that they have a starting chance in life.
At Tobago, we often speak about Panyard model. A Panyard is not just where music is played, it's where discipline is learned, talent is shaped, teamwork is built, and young people is guided in a safe space and positive environment. This exactly is what Technology and Education Center represent. Just as a Panyard brings young people together around steel pan, this center brings them together around technology to learn, to explore, and to prepare for the future.
I am truly thrilled to be here with you today as we celebrate the opening of another Technology in Education Center, the 4th Thai Center in Tobago. Through this program, we aim to bridge the digital divide by expanding access to technology and the internet in communities that need it most. And with the invaluable partnership of Tobago, we have been able to go a step further, embedding technology within Panyards.
Just to say to the young people and all the persons who will be accessing this facility, you need to show ownership of it. You need to take care of it. And I suppose that in the not too distant future, knowing Mr. Hazel and the Polish Youth Club, they're going to expand on it when they look at how many persons are accessing it.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly. According to Chief Secretary, the Honorable Farley Augustine, the portfolios of secretaries and assistant secretaries were formally assigned based on their experience, expertise, and the operational requirements of the divisions across the THA. In the process, several divisions were renamed and new ones were created to better reflect evolving responsibilities and administrative priorities.
The assignment of secretaries to divisions is not just a ceremonial exercise. It is a strategic act of stewardship. It is about placing the right people in the right spaces at the right time to deliver real results to real people on time.
The Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine assumed responsibility as a Chief Secretary after a vote in the House on January 15th. The office of the Chief Secretary was further strengthened with Assemblymember Megan Morrison appointed Secretary and Assemblymember Nigel Tate as Assistant Secretary. Deputy Chief Secretary Dr. Faith Brebner as Secretary for Health and Wellness. Assemblymember Nathisha Charles Pantin was assigned Public Infrastructure and Transportation, while Assemblymember Wayne Clark took responsibility for food security, including CPEP. Assemblymember Keegan Denoon was appointed Secretary for Youth Empowerment and Sport, and Assemblymember Zorisha Hackett assumed the leadership of Tourism, Antiquities, and Creative Industries, supported by Assistant Secretary, Assemblymember Nikita Percy. Environmental sustainability and climate resilience were placed under the stewardship of Assemblymember Darren Henry, while Assemblymember Trevor James as Secretary for Strategic Planning and Development. Housing, settlements, and public utilities were assigned to Assemblymember Ricky Joe Field and Legal Affairs to Councillor Adana Joseph Wallace. Assemblymember Orlando Kerr was appointed Secretary for Education, Skills, and Innovation. Assemblymember Ian Pollard as Secretary for Community Development and Social Protection,
supported by Assistant Secretary Councillor Akel Franklin. Councillor Petilan Roberts returns as Secretary for Finance, Trade and the Economy, assisted by Assembly Member Kern Alexis.
Being from the western side of Tobago, Crown Point to be exact, I think it's someplace fitting for me to be, and it's a great privilege to go into tourism to function. I already have the basic knowledge about what the island need, what the island desire in that area. So being in this field, kind of excited to get the job done.
I serve at the request of the Chief Secretary, so whatever position that he would have placed me in, I was willing to serve. So there was no anticipation, but I'm happy to see that I would have left yes to now manage yes. The first thing I have to do is to meet with all the heads of department to see the challenges that they have. And from there we would work to implementing the plans and programs that we have. The policies will be guided by the strategic approach that we have as a party. And so when I get in there, we would know what are the priority areas currently.
It falls directly in line with what my life work has been, so I didn't see it as much as a surprise. I have a lot of vision in order to transform the division of settlements. You see, the responsibility of government is to reach to the people and assist the people. And I think with my expertise, I will do very well there.
I considered that the chief might put me in education because of my background, but I was not sure. I think one of the main things is to continue the work that has started, because Secretary Hackett would have started a lot of new policies within the division, and I certainly intend to continue with those policies. But as the Chief Secretary said, we have always fallen short with special education. We have always fallen short with even our level of delivery within our district. So that these are some of the things that we need to hit the ground running. The Tobago-centric curriculum and all of those things must be a reality within the next 4 years.
With portfolios assigned and responsibilities clearly defined, the Assembly members are now positioned to carry out their various tasks.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And guys, you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we head into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. The U.S. military-grade radar at Crown Point has been dismantled and removed. The system, which Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar previously stated cost U.S. $3 million daily to operate, is reportedly being prepared for transportation off of the island via U.S. military aircraft. Installed last November to track narco trafficking from Venezuela, its sudden removal follows months of political tension over the cost and the presence of the U.S. Marines on Tobago soil. Additionally, Tobago is mourning the passing of its last survivor of the World War II veteran, Eman Legal, at the age of 99. The Lescotho resident famously joined the military in 1942, serving in Guyana until the war's end. A fixture at every Remembrance Day parade, Mr. Legal was the final living link to a generation of Tobagonians who served on the global stage. Our condolences go out to his family and the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Services League. And finally, planning to travel to Tobago for Easter, help is on the way. Secretary Keegan Denoon announced on Sunday that the central government has committed to additional flights, including a possible jet service to meet the demands. On the sea bridge, efforts are being undertaken to ensure both the TNT Spirit and the Bucko Reef are fully operational and the Galleon's passage standing by. The THA is promising improved communication to ensure a smoother experience for the holiday influx. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we jump straight ahead into our conversation. We are talking about the Tobago Talent Uncovered initiative. This morning, to have this conversation with me, I have the privilege of chatting right here in studio with Mr. Delano Jofield, who is a project associate for the Community Recovery Unit under the Ministry of Culture and Community Development. Good morning.
Good morning, Chanel. Good morning, Tobago Updates. Good morning, Tobago family.
So for a lot of persons, they're hearing about this initiative for the very, very first time. And we know that it's under the ministry, but is there a particular group that organizes this initiative? Tell us a bit about it.
All right. So the Tobago Talent Uncovered is an initiative put forward by the Community Recovery Unit of the Ministry of Culture and Community Development. This unit is really that unit in the ministry that deals with grassroots initiatives. So apart from this initiative, we have initiatives like the Man Up program, which is our all-male program. We have the Trailblazers summer internship program, and then we rolling out very soon. We have an all-female program, which is the Leadership Legacy program. So this is just one out of the many programs from the ministry. This program was conceptualized with merging culture and community, because as much as people tend to try to separate them, it is one and the same, especially when we look at development. It was really conceptualized to allow for talented persons within Trinidad and Tobago to have that opportunity to showcase themselves in a competition, but more than that, to be able to have opportunities to be mentored and to develop their craft really and truly.
Right, and there are a number of prizes to be won. Tell us a bit about that.
All right, so the prizes are mainly first place $75,000, second place $40,000, and third place $25,000. But I think, Chanel, beyond the prizes, the winners can look forward to the ability or to the opportunity of being mentored by industry recognized personnel. So would I be artists in the same field, music, the music industry, the drama industry, so that they would be able to develop their craft way after the initial competition, that allows for the continuation of culture and really and truly just to continue developing stars in Trinidad and Tobago that would, touch the region and touch the wider world.
Tell us about the Tobago leg of this competition.
All right, so as we know, this is an initiative put on by the central government, and so the central government also has remit in Tobago. So extended to Tobago, the Tobago prelims will begin on April 24th. But before we get there, participants or those interested are asked to submit a YouTube video link of 1 to 2 minutes, utilizing the barcode that you will see soon on the screen. Yeah. And from there, we will choose the most suitable videos, and then you will be judged in the prelims in Tobago, the Tobago leg at the Bonaccord Community Center on April 24th. From the prelims, we move on to 3 live shows, which would be the quarterfinals in May, the semi-finals also in May, and then the finals in June. So it's really not necessarily a big separation, but just having a Tobago leg to meet the entire cohort after the prelims.
Tell us a bit about the different categories and how persons can position themselves appropriately. Some persons may say, I have a cross-section of different talents. How do I decide which one I should put out there? You have instrumental music such as the pan and other instruments. Tell us a bit about that. What do you advise, and what are you looking forward to seeing, or the judging panel would be really basing their decisions on?
All right. So I can't speak necessarily, well, I can't speak to the criteria. What we look for is creativity and originality, your technical skills and your ability, your stage presence and performance quality. We have the audience engagement as well, and then your overall impact. The usual stuff that you would look for within a competition. But I think as it pertains to one's interest in the program, a lot of people are multi-talented, but I think at some point that is where a hard decision needs to be made, and you hone in on the talent that you feel most comfortable with or most perfected. Yeah. But I do encourage persons to submit your videos. You may do 2-3 videos, not necessarily to submit, as your little trial, and then you can go through it and have your own little choosing session. You choose from that, and then you submit your video. But at the end of the day, I don't think because you have multiple talents that you should just subject yourself to saying, okay, I don't think I could do all, so I shouldn't do it. I think you should choose the best, the one that you're most comfortable with, put yourself forward and take advantage of the opportunities. One thing I want to add to this, Chanel, I think it's more, as I said before, than a competition. So come and utilize the opportunity to listen and be mentored by industry professionals. We have soca artists, calypso artists, we have persons in the drama industry, in the instrumental industry, even if you could DJ, because we have different categories, as you said, so I will mention it as well. Right. We have persons, and we have over 100, more than 100 actually, video submissions already. We're looking for more because, as we know, the registration started on the 2nd of February, and the deadline is the 25th, which I believe is next week, Friday. Right. And we have submissions in the areas of singing and vocal performance. We have dance, we have spoken word and poetry, instrumental music, comedy, creative arts, open talent. And I can share this with you. I know also we have somebody whose talent that they're going to showcase is cricket. Now, I'm interested to see how they're going to showcase cricket. You know? Very much yeah, so the sky is the limit as it pertains to this program.
Okay, I like that. And then it's from 16 and over.
Correct.
But that means that you're never too old to be a part of it.
Correct.
Right?
Once you are 16 and over and a national of Trinidad and Tobago, this program is the program for you.
Right. And tell us a bit about, because you did separate the talents by category, but, you know, when I think about major talent competitions, like, you know, America's Got Talent and those type of thing, American Idol, you often see persons that are multi-dimensional in their talents. You know? Sometimes they come on doing one thing and they roll off the stage doing the next thing, right? Are those type of talents welcome?
Oh yes, most definitely. And it's not to say if you are somebody that or your main talent is that of singing, that you would not be able to do some dancing incorporated into your presentation and so on. So yes, we do welcome that form of expression or cultural expression, because at the end of the day, I said it's about developing your talent. And if your talent is something that's not necessarily one-dimensional and multi-dimensional, and you could merge it, then you come and all the best to you.
Right. And, you know, I know there are those people who swing from the roof, you know, with the cloth. I can't remember what they call it.
Not pole dancers, but I don't think I have idea
even the pole dancers, are they welcome to be a part of the competition, especially when you look at the areas that the preliminaries and the semifinals are being hosted. You know, if a person says, well, I need this type of contraption in order to do my talent, those type of provisions made?
Yeah. Listen, you put me in a little ticklish position there. But I think that is up to the discretion of the panel that judges the prelims. I think you never know. Somebody might go and utilize a pole to showcase the Laja Bless coming from somewhere. Maybe it's in a creative way, as opposed to the traditional way that we know pole dancers use the pole dancing for, you know. So, as I said, the sky is the limit. Be as creative. Also, you also know you have to be as responsible with your content as possible so that you can, you know, be put forward to the prelims. So you use your discretion.
Right. So, you know, there was a lot of controversy surrounding the Calypso Monarch that took place this year. Can we possibly see Calypsonians using this as an avenue to express themselves? Is that welcome? And I see that there's a cultural focus. Does it mean that the contribution has to be cultural or no?
So we try not to suppress, but it is about culture and continuing to promote the longevity of our culture and sustain culture. So It is open, but we try to put a focus on culture as well. As I said, we merge community with culture, and we know most of our community groups are cultural groups. So you would see, like in Tobago, we have the dance group, the folk group, and so on. So we welcome all of them to come, which are mainly cultural acts. Yes. As it pertains to Calypsonians, it is open for all. I think that whole situation that happened before is separate and apart from us here at the Ministry of Culture and Community Development and the Community Recovery Unit and this initiative. So that is all I would say as it pertains to that.
Well, even as we wrap up, and there is the barcode that persons can scan to submit their video and be a part of the initiative, it is going to be closed on the 25th of March. So you want to ensure that you do get your submission in before that time. Don't wait until after to say that I missed the opportunity to showcase my talent. Or maybe you wanted to do so in other forums and the opportunity just did not present itself. This might be the chance for you. So the first prize again is 75,000 TT dollars, second place 40,000 TT, and third place 25,000 TT dollars. Now, before we wrap up the conversation this morning, Delano, is there anything that you want to say to our viewers looking on this morning?
All right. So I would say, take advantage of this opportunity. For the creatives, take advantage of this opportunity. And even for persons who aren't necessarily or don't necessarily see themselves as a creative, but they know they have a talent that they want to develop, take advantage of this Tobago Talent Uncovered, a brainchild of the Minister of Sports and Community Development, Michelle Benjamin. It has been created for you, not just as a competition, but as an avenue for development of your talent and for the continuation of culture, both in Trinidad and in Tobago. And I will put in a special plug here. You know, us as Tobagonians, we have a wealth of talent. So I say, let's go down there and let's give those Trinidadians some thunder.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here. Remember, this is your opportunity to possibly win $75,000 TT dollars. All right? Take a quick break and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
To a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise, the energy fill the sky.
Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way. Somebody's getting a great rate today. Looking for a rate that's bright and sunny? Hop on down for some Easter money. 1% interest through and through, because we see you at BCU. Apply for a 1% Easter loan and let's hatch something great together. Hop, hop, hip hooray, Easter money's on its way.
Trinidad, Tobago and abroad, your chance to drive away in a brand new SUV is still on. The BHS Centennial Raffle has been extended to Thursday 30th April 2026. And that's not all. Prizes include travel for two to Miami and Curacao, Tobago staycation, iPhones, computers, smart TVs and more. Tickets still only $100. Get yours at selected outlets or at islandetickets.com. Details at bishopstobago100.com/raffle.
Coming up, fets, pan, parades, soca. Yes, Carnival is in full swing. Artists from all over added their strokes to Antigua and Barbuda's canvas. A boost for these Barbadian projects through the power to make a difference. Equal servings of culture and good cheer. It's Caribbean Passport TV right here on this station.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear, an older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. So a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Tobago, it's Carnival. The vibe. The event space, formerly known as Shade, for the court Tobago, says, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every
Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612 or email iwamg@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is carnival.
Yeah. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. Ladies and gentlemen, we jump straight ahead into our conversations this morning, and I'm talking to financial advisor Tenille Alonso. This morning we are talking about how you can become financially resilient. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Tobago. Hi, Chanel. How are you doing? Nice to be here.
I am good, excellent. And so, first of all, tell us a bit about yourself.
All right, so my name is Tenille. I am a financial advisor. I'm also the founder of Your Goals, Your Plans. I believe that persons have the ability to become financially resilient with guidance and structure. And that is why I'm here this morning, to have a conversation with you and with your audience about how we can, basically ride the wave of change that exists in our society, but do so in a way that gives us a long-term strength. And that is essentially what my practice is based on.
When persons talk about financial resilience, they might first say, well, you have to have finances to be resilient in the first place. Tell us a bit about, firstly, how persons can make large impact with maybe small budgets.
Okay, well, that's a very, very good question, because it's, as your grandparents or grandparents would have said, it's not about what you have, but it's about how you use it, right? So it's really about understanding the structure for resilience, because you would probably be surprised. There are many persons who are earning a lot of income, and they too are financially vulnerable. And so it's not about what you have as so much about how you manage what you have. And so for persons on a small budget, or persons who are on a large budget, as I said, it doesn't really matter what size of the budget it is. What you really want to understand is, what is the structure for success? Because once you have the structure for success and you work that structure, you will find that your budget will eventually increase. And it may sound like a pie in the sky dynamic, but it's not. We've seen it for decades, where persons who have started on a small budgets have grown to build large estates. And so it's possible for you, just as it was for them.
Right, let's talk about long-term investments for financial sustainability. What are some of those key long-term investments that persons can invest in to make sure that they are financially stable in the long term?
Right. As I said, financial stability is not based on what we think sometimes it is. So when you talk about investments, oftentimes persons have a specific picture in mind. So I'm sure when you ask me the question, you're thinking, Tenille, how can I get a return on my money? Correct? Is that what you're thinking?
Right.
How can I find something that will grow my money substantially? And And the reality is there is no investment where you put your money in a third party situation that is quote unquote guaranteed, because you are giving up control. All right. So that's the first thing. So there are different types of investments in that scenario. But I want to step away from the typical concept of an investment, because that of course could mean more than just getting a return based on putting money somewhere. I want you to think about investment in its widest context. Think about it in the case of how can I position myself financially to be able to grow. And there are typically three things that, or three areas that I would often utilize in my framework when I'm advising clients. One, we look at your income stability. How stable is your income over time? So for persons who are maybe entrepreneurs, they may have good income stability because they have, let's say, a contract to provide services or products for a period of time. So that's stable income. Then there may be variable income and so on. Same thing with employees. You may be on a contract for 1 year versus a permanent employee. So we look at income stability, and then we look at savings and investments. And that is important because you need to have buffers that would protect you in the event of an income interruption. But savings and investments by themselves is not, of course, a solid proof kind of thing. You need also to have insurance that protects your income machine, which is your body. So if you're thinking about what investments do I need, what you're thinking about is how do I structure my investment strategy to protect me in the case of huge events, or to protect me in the case of a short-term interruption. All three things are critical in that assessment. And then, of course, it's so important what is the conversation that's going on now. Everybody wants to find the product, the thing to put their money in. I would suggest before you do that, what you need is to have clarity on where you are first. Because if you're clear, this is where I am, this is where I need to be, I know what that gap is, then selecting the method of investing in terms of your income growth and stability, your savings duration, your protections, being able to identify that is now going to be a lot clearer, and you would not necessarily feel the level of anxiety that oftentimes people feel because they're bombarded with all these ideas. You should get this, or you should buy that, or you should go into this, or you should go into that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. One of the things that I didn't hear you mention is the idea of using business and entrepreneurship in order to expand, one's revenue generating ability. Because even when we look at someone's salary, a lot of the times, there's a cap. A person may say, okay, well, this is how much I'm making. This is how much persons make in my industry. And there's only so much I can make compared to who I want to be, or the things that I want to achieve, or the things that I want to invest in. How can persons use business as a means of offsetting a number of personal costs? Because I know that sometimes you don't know that sometimes individually some of the expenses that you may have can become a shared business cost. For instance, like business offices and stuff like that. If you are paying a mortgage and you do have a business, a part of your building can be put towards a business expense if you are operating business outside of your home. How can persons look at business as a means of, kind of chiseling down some of their personal expenses on a monthly basis?
I love the question, because I always suggest that one income source is not ever going to meet the requirements or the need, right? All of us have growing expenses. We're living in an economy, and this is not unique to us, but inflation is a real thing, okay? So the cost of living is increasing. Our lifestyle is also increasing. So we have not only inflation at the groceries or the pump, etc. We're also seeing it in our lifestyle and our expectations. So of course, growing your income and utilizing business is a critical part. So that is definitely a very key element. I would tell anyone, whether you have a job, that you go to, you need to also employ yourself and employ the resources that you do have as a mechanism to become financially resilient. Because once you do a proper assessment of what your needs are, not just in the short term, but in the medium term and in the long term, you would recognize, most times it is recognized, that your one income is not going to cut it. And so entrepreneurship and being enterprising is a very critical step in becoming financially resilient so that you can balance your efforts across the board. You mentioned using, like your home and stuff, it just ties back into identifying those resources that you do have access to, whether it's property, real property, or even your skills, your talents, your ideas, and so on, and ensuring that you know how to employ them, because a lot of persons may have enterprising ambitions, but they don't really know how to develop those ambitions or sustain those ambitions. And so one of the key things would be understanding what you're trying to achieve, understanding the structure that you need to achieve that objective, and then investing in the relevant information, expertise, even perhaps, looking at, facilitating relationships and so on, that would help you on that journey. Most critical in the whole scenario is the factor of time. It takes time to become financially resilient. It takes time to build an idea, whether it's a business, or it takes time to build that structure that I spoke about: income, savings, and investments, and protection. It takes time to do it. And what we see is the people who are most vulnerable relative to this concept of resilience are those who are in the working population, those who look well. So we're talking people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. And so it's really important to get clarity first before you jump into, I have an idea, or I just want to do this. You really need to have that structure to be financially resilient. That's my major
Understood.
suggestion.
Why is it important for persons to employ or get the services of a financial advisor?
That's awesome. Financial advisors are there to basically simplify the noise, because as I would have stated, it's very it's very confusing when you look on the internet and you see all sorts of, well, you should get this or you should do that, and this is the path to wealth, and so on and so forth. An advisor helps you to structure your financial dynamics according to the objectives that you have, but they also customize those recommendations to you. So if it is that you are looking for guidance and structured guidance, you want to have someone who is knowledgeable in their particular field, who has been trained, and who has your best interest in mind. Because what their role is supposed to be is really to identify what best suits your particular situation and supports your objectives. So I'll give an example. If it is that someone comes to an advisor and let's say they are riddled with debt, all right, which we see a lot, it means that that person, that advisor, is supposed to be in a position to advise that individual to create better balance and to deal with that debt in a particular way. Or, to look at habits like, how they budget and utilize money management issues, but also to recommend products that will mitigate risks that they may be exposed to. But it may not be that person A and person B will get the same recommendation because they both may be experiencing different financial dynamics.
Okay. One of the things that I've learned from my study, in order for persons to make the best use of their finances, especially if they have a lot of scattered debt has been to try to convert high interest debt into low interest consolidation mechanisms. For instance, like we see the Better Credit Union has a 1% loan sale happening right now. Persons who may have a courts bill, a standards bill, a credit card bill, and all of these type of loans that have probably like 11% interest, or these major interest rates. Do you think it's good to take the idea of consolidating all those high interest debt into low interest debt instead, and giving persons that, being able to free up more of their income?
Right. So my expertise is not specifically in debt management, although I do advise in general terms on it. But what I would suggest when I speak to an individual is to first get the structure right, because in the first instance, I think we are so much into this debt cycle in Trinidad and Tobago, where persons are just lured in by all the attractive loans, and whether it's a Christmas loan or a vacation loan or a carnival loan, or just come and get it, nothing done for 3 months. And that behavior is detrimental to our financial health and our long-term well-being, particularly when we think about retirement. A lot of persons aren't even able to contribute sufficiently because of these things. But relative to the specific question, I do suggest, if persons have an opportunity to reduce debt using consolidation, definitely that's a very good plus. But the danger in sometimes even perpetuating this consolidation mindset is people continue to get loans that over leverages them, and then they have to consolidate again, which is, based on my experience, I see often. And so the core issue really is, how do we discipline our financial lives so that we are not in that cycle of debt consistently. So I hope that answered your question in terms of the mechanism. That is very valid, but I really wanted to address the core issues that we're seeing in our society at this time.
Right. And if persons want to contact you or reach out to you to help them balance their finances or plan for a financial resilience for the future, how can they reach out to you?
Well, I have my website. I recommend there's a 1-minute resilience check that persons can do on themselves. It's a self-check. And there's also a full resilience review that you can do on my website. And that allows you to get that clarity, but also brings you into a process where we can meet and discuss your situation in a calm way, where you are not going to feel overwhelmed. We review what you've done well, and we look at things that you can do to solidify your financial situation so that you can build stability into your most vulnerable years, which is really why our demographic of the 30s, 40s, and 50-year-olds, that's a very critical window for us to get that clarity so that we can take relevant action. So if you are interested, you can go to yourgoalsyourplans.com. That's YOUR goals, YOURplans.com. Or you can call me at 467-9944. and I'll direct you to all the resources. There are so many other resources on my website that you can access. There's also a game that you can play as well on one of my subsites as well. So lots of resources, lots of education to support you on your journey.
Excellent. Even as we wrap up our discussion this morning, is there any one tip that you would like to leave with our viewers as it pertains to finances?
One tip is to consider looking at a percentage regime when it comes to dividing up your funds when the month comes. So you must live, right? So you can't save everything. You can't invest in, let's say, whether it's life insurance or other types of investments. You have to balance your living expenses from that. I often utilize a 70-30 rule. 70-30 rule. You live on 70% and you grow 130%. Of course, that 30% is further broken down. And once you complete the resilience check-in and we connect, I can give you some more information on that. But you live on 70 and you grow on 30. That's my main tip for today.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you so much for being here with us this morning and giving us those key nuggets. And persons know that they can visit your website at
yourplans.com.
Yourplans.com. Excellent. We want to thank you again for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
Tobago. It's Carnival. The vibe. The event space, formerly known as Shade, for the court Tobago, says, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612 or email iwamg@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is carnival. Baby, when you whine on me. Somebody get the phone on the telephone. I get wet. I'm looking all through the party. I hope I find you there.
We get ready as the Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council brings to you their Easter Sport and Family Day. On Monday, 6th April, Easter Monday, we transform the Mount Pleasant recreational grounds. We kick off with track and field events, novelty races, Easter bonnet competition, the Greasy Pole Challenge, and the highly anticipated William Woods Premier Goat Racing Classic. Huge prizes to be won, and we can't forget the Kids Corner with rides and bouncy castles. At 7 p.m., it's an after party and a stage show by popular artists and DJs. Grounds tickets cost $60 for adults and $30 for kids 5 to 12 years. Pavilion tickets cost $100 and children under 5 years are free. So register early for races. Check out Conby Mount Pleasant Community Council on Facebook. 474-4661. 474-4661 for more details. Live performance by the 2026 National Calypso Monarch Queen, Terry Lyons.
I need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen.
morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we are talking all about what's happening post SCA as well as what's happening over the Easter season here on the island of Tobago. To have that conversation with me this morning, I have the privilege of chatting with the event coordinator at the Magdalena Grand, Miss Rhea Sampson. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
Now, there's always a lot happening at the Magdalena and SCA. You are extending the celebrations out to the students. Tell us a bit about it.
So every year on the day of SCA, we normally invite all the schools, all the primary school children that are sitting the exam to come out and have some light fun, because SCA is a stressful time for them. So on Thursday next week, 26th, we will have the SCA lunch in the ballroom with some games and some excitement for the kids. We haven't forgotten the parents and the teachers, because everybody needs to relax now. So you can also come out and the kids will get free ice cream as well. So it's a nice little evening just to relax and let them let loose and take a deep breath.
Right, and this is happening from 12 to 3 p.m.
12 to
Tell
3.
us exactly where persons, where in the hotel this is happening.
So in the ballroom, we'll have the setup happening for the entire, because what happens every year, it gets bigger and bigger. So we're hoping for more kids this year, and we have some more games happening this year. So our activities team will be on site, with, engaging the kids, just kind of giving them some breather games, just to take away that stress.
Right, and so parents, teachers, right after the exam is finished, they can come to the hotel, bring the kids, and they get free games, free ice cream, but the lunch is paid for.
Yes,
You
it's $80 for the kids, and of course the adults, we have different options, starting from about $90 go up. So it all depends on what everybody wants.
Excellent. But that is only one aspect of the celebrations that's happening at the Magdalena. We also see that you are going to have a number of things happening for the Easter weekend. Give us a bit of an idea of what's happening.
So Easter weekend is, of course, a time for families to come together. So on the Saturday, which is the 4th of April, we have a busset tour to Castara. So we did this last year with a limited number of persons, and it was a very fun time. So you come to the hotel, you get picked up at the hotel, we take you all the way to Castara. Along the way, they'll have, of course, some interactive little singing, dancing, get everybody accustomed to who is on the bus. And then when we reach, it's a nice evening. Our activities again will assist with doing some games at the beach, but it's just really for everybody to relax. So the adults are $250 and the children are $150. You can scan the QR code to book. You're getting lunch, you're getting non-alcoholic beverages. You can also walk with what you want to drink if you want additional items. And we're partnering with PTSD to do this too. So the bus will be there to collect us.
And just for clarity, this is for persons who aren't staying at the hotel.
You don't have to stay at the hotel. You can come if you're staying on the island and you want to come with us, that's fine as well. Just scan and sign up as well. If you are staying at the hotel too, you can also book as well.
Right. So as long as you're in Tobago for Easter and you're looking for something to do, something fun, exciting, that incorporates the entire family, then definitely they want to head over to the Magdalena. And then there's a number of other family-based activities that are happening for those persons that are staying at the hotel.
So if you're staying at the hotel, or even if you're not staying at the hotel, you can still come on Easter Sunday. We're going to have our family line. It is going to be very fun. We had it last year. People were really interested in coming back this year. So you're going to have, and this year we opened it up a little more. So we do have a vendor call going on. So if you're a vendor of the island and you want to showcase your items, please feel free to just message us and we will send out the link for you. You can come and sell your items as well. So we'll have food on sale, we'll have drinks on sale, so you can just come out, bring the family. We'll have Easter egg hunt, Easter bonnet parade, games for adults and for kids. So everybody is invited and it is free. So,
wow, that's amazing.
Yes. 1 to 5 on Easter Sunday. It is free. Please come. And of course, can't do without prizes to be won.
Right. And then you always want to bring the kids out, you know, have them run about, you know, tire
Exert that
themselves
energy.
out. Yeah. And have them hang out with other kids as well. I think it's an excellent
It's going to be a very good day.
And we look forward to the success of it. And this is happening on the 5th. So the activities at the Magdalena goes all the way from Saturday
and Sunday.
And Sunday there is that opportunity for you
Yes.
to vent. If you do have a business and you want to use the opportunity to showcase your products, whether it's indigenous Tobago products or not, this is the prime opportunity for you to do so. And then there's the busted tour that's happening on Saturday, going straight from the hotel, straight up to Castara, having fun with the family on the beach, and back down to the hotel.
Correct.
All right. Are there any other things that are happening at the Magdalena?
We do have some more upcoming things, but I will be back to give you more information on that soon.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you know, I always like a nice little all-inclusive option.
I know.
So I know you guys had that 20% off for Carnival.
Yes, and we will bring it back soon. So
Yeah.
please look at our Facebook page, our Instagram page. You can always tag us if you are there. But we will have things happening soon. More things to come.
Excellent. Well, I'll keep my eye on it. You know, unless there's the Tobago updates all-inclusive special.
We have to do something special for the Tobago updates family.
Exactly. That's always an option. But we know that this is Easter time and most of the hotels and stuff are fully booked, fully engaged.
Yes.
Persons are looking for a place to stay. And if you still haven't booked your place to stay for
Book
Easter,
with us. Yes, we still have a few rooms open still. So please feel free, come out. I mean, we have a nice property and you will enjoy your stay with us.
Excellent. You know, when you stay at the Magdalena Beach and Golf Resort, you always get that taste of luxury while having that indigenous Tobago paradise aesthetic. You know, you have the beachfront pool.
Yep.
You have the restaurants and so many other options for you to really discover that property while being able to relax and have some fun with the entire family. So, you know, we always look forward to having fun because we always broadcast live from Magdalena Grand.
We'll have to bring you back soon and we'll do a nice little tour as I mentioned earlier. You know, we have nice nature tours and stuff now. So there are things happening at the hotel. So please come out. You know, Saturday we have karaoke, Friday we have live performances. So come out, have a good time. Just come by the bar and just relax.
Excellent. Well, again, we want to thank you so much, Rhea, for being here, and thank you to all Magdalena Grand family for you know, coming this morning and letting us know all that's happening. Remember, if you have a child or students that are participating in the SEA exams next week, that's the 26th of March, then this is the opportunity for you to take them to one of those really nice celebrations that they will definitely remember. You don't have to wait until graduation for them to experience, you know, that lovely hotel setting. You have that opportunity to do so right after the SEA. With just $80, each child can have the opportunity to engage in an 8-inch pizza, or you have the cheese pizza, pepperoni pizza, chicken nuggets, or even a beef burger. And there are those adult options available there, and you know, they already told you that they have free ice cream for the kids, and we know the kids love a good ice cream. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussions. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix, and have a great day.